Okay, nobody would believe me if I stated this, but here we go.
No. Senator Graham mentioned you've long been a champion of states' rights, and certainly you and I have had enough discussions on that, and I realize those are deeply held beliefs. But states have also voted on an issue of marijuana and regulation. I believe your own state of Alabama permits the use of a derivative of marijuana known as CBD oil, legal in Alabama, illegal under federal law. If you are confirmed as the nation's chief law enforcement official, and you know that we have very, very limited federal resources, in fact, we're spending about a third of our budget now just to keep the prisons open because of mandatory minimums and whatnot.
Okay, did you hear what he said? They're spending about a third of our nation's budget to keep the prisons open because of mandatory minimums. And I would like to point out that if CBD oil is now illegal federally, they can technically bust you for regular hemp seed oil because it has trace amounts of CBDs. I'm going to rewind it a couple again and let you hear that again.
Not open because now that we have. If you are confirmed as the nation's chief law enforcement official, and you know that we have very, very limited federal resources, in fact, we're spending about a third of our budget now just to keep the prisons open because of mandatory minimums and whatnot. Would you use our federal resources to investigate and prosecute sick people who are using marijuana in accordance with their state laws, even though it might violate federal law?
Well, I won't commit to never enforcing federal law, Senator Leahy, but absolutely it's a problem of resources for the federal government. The Department of Justice under Lynch and Holder set forth some policies that they thought were appropriate to define what cases should be prosecuted in states that have legalized, at least in some fashion, some parts of
Do you agree with
marijuana.
those guidelines?
I think some of them are truly valuable in evaluating cases, but fundamentally, the criticism I think that was legitimate is that they may not have been followed. Using good judgment about how to handle these cases will be a responsibility of mine. I know it won't be an easy decision, but I will try to do my duty in a fair and just way.
The only reason I mention it, you've been some very strong views. You even mandated the death penalty for anyone convicted of a second drug trafficking offense, including marijuana.
Holy shit, the death penalty for your second offense, that guy actually said that? Let's rewind it.
Even though second drug mandated the death penalty for anyone convicted of a second drug trafficking offense, including marijuana, even though mandatory death penalties are, of course, unconstitutional.
Well, I'm not sure under what circumstances I said that, but I don't think that sounds like something I would normally say. We're glad to look at it, but
Would you say that's not your view today?
it is not my view today.
Thank you very much.
His body language said yes it is. He nodded his head yes.
I perked up when he started talking about federalism. And, of course, everything Senator Leahy said was interesting, but
Thank
the
you.
federalism stuff is particularly interesting.